Hey guys, it's good to be back. So, like I promised the other day, I'll be giving you tips and videos. So, a few days ago, we were able to give tips on how to set up the bicycle on the trainers, and then we were able to give tips again onto how to properly set up your saddle height. So, this time, I'm going to teach you guys how to properly set up your saddle fore aft. But before we go on to that, I want to take this opportunity to give thanks to all our frontliners. So, to all our health workers, doctors, nurses, our everyone who's doing their part in this pandemic. A big salute to you guys. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po for making sure everyone's safety is okay, for saving the lives of our fellow Filipinos. So, hindi namin alam kung paano namin ito mababayaran, pero deep in our hearts, we're very thankful. Maraming salamat po. So, going back, so for today, we're going to talk about saddle fore aft. So, where do we start? If you look into a bicycle, in fitting perspective, the bottom bracket is the center of the bicycle. So, I know many of you are messaging me, sending messages now. When I'm riding my bike, I feel too much weight in the hands, or I feel too much pressure in my lower back, or on my butt area, or my bun. So there are many possible reasons why you're having this discomforts, but for me, the basic reason is weight distribution. If you're having too much pressure on your hands, on your forearm, your elbow, your shoulder, your neck, and your nape, there's a possibility that you have your weight too far forward on the bicycle. And if you have your weight too far forward on the bicycle, you're putting most of those load in the front of the bike. Thereby, what your body is trying to do is fight that load just to be able to sustain the position. That's why it's put a lot of strain on your upper body. Then if you're feeling a lot of discomfort on your bun area or your lower back, there's also a possibility that you have too much weight on the butt area. So how do we fix it? This is very basic, okay? So looking at it, the bicycle, the center of the bottom bracket is the center of the bicycle, okay? So if you have too much weight in the front, what you want to do is you want to move your saddle a bit backward. You could try it possibly 3 millimeter at a time or 5 millimeter at a time, okay? So every time you move back, let's say every 3 millimeter of the saddle you move back, the basic rule is you lower it by 1 millimeter. So the thing is, if you move the saddle backward 5 millimeters, you have to lower your saddle by around 2 or 3 millimeters, okay, to be able to get the same pedal feel that you have, okay? So every time you're moving back, the reach is being affected. So you want to be cautious also that you're not overreaching already na sobrang layo mo na sa front end. So one thing that we do is either we shorten the stem, or sometimes we have to move the space, the cockpit higher to be able to accommodate the position that you're having on the bicycle. And sometimes naman, when you feel like you're pedaling, you're not pushing downward, and you feel like you're pedaling forward before you can push downward, there's a possibility that you're too far back on the bicycle already. So one thing you could do is just slightly move the saddle forward, okay? Every time you're moving forward, you're adding some weight in the front, but every time you have to move forward, if you want to have that same pedal feel that you have on the bicycle, what you want to do is you want to raise the saddle. Every 3 millimeter forward, the basic rule is raise the saddle or the seat post 1 millimeter. So if you move the saddle around 5 to 6 millimeter forward, you have to raise the seat post around 2 to 3 millimeter just to be able to get the same pedal feel that you have, or the same position or coordinates that you have before, but only changing the weight distribution. There are many technicalities about this, like let's say for example, a person who has a shorter inseam and a longer upper body torso usually has to move their saddle a bit backward to be able to compensate the long torso and to balance the weight distribution. And for guys who have long legs and a short torso, what we usually do is slightly move the saddle forward and higher because they have to have the correct reach on the bicycle. So you get to play around with it. For me, I'm just giving you the basic rules. Move it 3 millimeter or 5 millimeter at a time on the saddle, and then you have to move the seat post also. But like I would have said, if you move the saddle, the reach in the front end will be affected. So you want to play around with the positioning on the bicycle. Okay, so I hope these tips will help you ride indoor more comfortable, you look for the sweet spot in the indoor. It doesn't always mean that your position in the indoor will be your position on the outdoor. Remember, our body changes, but during these times, we want to make sure you get to ride your bicycle more comfortably indoors, so you get to last longer, you get to build up your muscles, and you get to have a better immune system. Okay, so again, keep safe everyone. Thank you very much.